So this lesson is talking about scales and length, and all I'm going to do is give you three different examples about reading scales, and that should give you enough information to be able to do the questions. So in example 1, as you can see, the scale is 3 and 4 and 5. Now if they drew an arrow just here there and said what is the reading on the scale, that would be a little bit too easy for you. If they put it here, that would be too easy as well. What they would probably do is they would probably put the arrow either here, something like that, or maybe somewhere like that. Now they probably won't have the scale just like that. What they will probably do is they will probably put more lines on there as well. So if I put those in for you, that's half and then okay, so the first part of the question might be read where arrow A is and then where arrow B is. Now arrow A is, well, if this is 3 and this is 4, then these must be 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. So arrow A would be 3.5. Okay. Now at the moment it doesn't really matter whether it's 3.5 meters or kilograms or anything. It doesn't matter. And then if this is 4, just here, this one is 4, by the way, this big one. So that's 4. So therefore, and this is 5. Some of you might think, well, if this is 4, then this is 5, then this is 6. Well, if that's the case, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that would be 13, not 5. So that's wrong, isn't it? So this is 4, so therefore this is 4.1, and this is 4.2. So B equals 4.2. Okay, so those are those two examples. But what they also might ask you to do is that they might ask you to put an arrow in the right place. So they might say, put an arrow on 4.8, 4.8. Okay, and that's not too bad because we can just go from here. This is 4, 4.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this arrow here, oops, that would be 4.8. But, and this is a really tricky one, suppose they ask you to put an arrow on 3.25. Okay, well, this is 3.1, this is 3.2, and this is 3.3. Okay, hopefully you can see those. So therefore 3.25 is a bit more than 3.2, but it's less than 3.3. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to put the arrow in the middle. Okay, and that is where 3.25 would be. Now in this second example, the numbers you've got 4.6 and 4.7. So if they haven't put the numbers on in between, then what I suggest you do is you do that straight away. So 4.6 and 4.7. So therefore this bit is going to be halfway between 4.6 and 4.7. Now halfway between 4.6 and 4.7 is 4.65. Now if you're having a bit of trouble with that, let me just give you an idea. Imagine this is pounds and pence, imagine it's money. So 4.6 would be, there's the pound sign, 4.6. Now you can't just have one digit, you have to have two digits. So therefore that will be £4.60. This, if we're imagining money, would be £4.70. Okay, so now what we have to do is imagine what's halfway between those two numbers. Well, halfway between 460 and 470 is of course 465. So that's where we get 4.65 from. So that means that these numbers down here would be 4.61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and then this would be 4.66. and 4.67, 4.68, 4.69, 4.69, and then 4.7. Okay, now on to the very last example of the scales and length lesson. We've got here 8.23, and down here we've got 8.24. So that means that halfway would be 8.23. We know that because it's got 2, 3 here, but it's 8.235. Now if this were kilograms, this would be 8 kilograms, 235 grams. Okay, and this is halfway between 8.23 and 8.24. And 8.23 is 8 kilograms and 230 grams. So that's 230. And this would be 8 kilograms and 240. I'm getting in the way, aren't I? Let's do this again. So 8 kilograms and 240 grams. Okay, so we've got 230, 235, 240. And once we've got that, then we know that this one is 8.231, 232, 233, 234, 235 as we've got it, and then so on. And then if there's an arrow just here, for example, then we know that that will be 8.231, 232, 233, 8.233, so that's where that arrow is. And then if it says put an arrow on 8.242, we would know that this is 8.245, so therefore 8.242, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be just here, 8.242. Okay, 8.242. Now that last one was the trickiest one. I don't think any of the questions will be that hard. If you've got this, if you can understand everything that's on the board right at the moment, then well done, because that is really, really tricky. If you don't worry so much about this very, very last example.